first run of the day and see what happens forward. Four alpha, 3 alpha, 1 Charlie, 2 Charlie, 1 Delta, 1 Mike. I know for a fact that Mike was over here on that very last shot. Now, one of the things about shooting single stack that I was very uncomfortable with was shooting on the move, just because I didn't have the confidence in thinking that I can get good hits. Not that I couldn't get my hits, but good hits. So the first drill that I started working on was starting from one barrel and then moving to the other. I would draw, which is another thing that I'm still working on. I'm still trying to get comfortable with that scoop draw, right? So I would draw to the steel. So now I'm practicing my draw. I'm practicing getting a first round hit on a difficult steel target. And then once I get that hit, I would move on the 2 paper, just building my confidence, knowing that, okay, I can shoot and move and still get decent points. And then once I completed that movement and got to the other barrel, I then engaged the steel. So the mindset there is I'm having to focus on a piece of steel before I do the thing that I'm actually trying to kind of nervous and worried about. And then as soon as I'm done, I can't congratulate myself because I still have another piece of steel that I have to hit, and it's not an easy piece of steel. So mentally, it's forcing me to stay focused throughout the entire drill instead of just trying to focus in on the one thing that I'm looking for. I'm trying to, the focus of it is to build the confidence of shooting on the move. But I'm also creating other distractions that I know I can do, but they're difficult, in order to make sure that that's not the only thing I'm focused on. I have to focus on a solid draw and grip. I have to focus on a first round hit. Then I focus on shooting on the move while getting good points. And then even after I'm done shooting on the move, getting good points, I still have to stay focused in order to guarantee that last round hit. Now the next thing I wanted to focus on was initiating my reload during movement. Now the reason why this can be a difficult thing is that if you're shooting a close piece of paper as you're starting your movement, okay, that's fine, easy and dandy, right? Like you can pretty much guarantee your hits. But what about those times when maybe you've posed a couple pieces of paper and now you have a steel that you have to hit before you actually start that movement and that reload? Well, if you don't hit that steel, you could end up doing the herky-jerky dance or even a standing reload, which wastes a lot of time. So, what I did for this drill was, again, pretty much between the 2 barrels, was to engage the paper up close. So I've got 4 shots that are quick, and then slow down enough to get the first round hit on steel. And then once I get that hit, and basically what you have to understand, I'm not waiting for the ding. I'm watching the sights, and as soon as I see the sights lift after I finish pulling the trigger, I'm calling that shot. I'm either saying that's a good shot or no, I need to move. So in reality, I should be starting the movement almost instantaneously as you hear the ding, versus shoot, hear the ding, okay, now I can start moving. All right. Then on the move, begin the initiate the reload and start the movement. Your reload should be done by the time you finish the movement. Come up, too close paper, and then again on far steel. All right, been training for a few hours, doing various drills. Now we're going to try and run the drill that we did at the start of the day, see if there's an improvement or not. all steel. 4 Alpha, 3 Alpha 1 Charlie. 3 Alpha 1 Charlie. And looks like 2 Alpha 2 Charlie. Now look, I know that it seems like I burn through a lot of ammo when I'm training, and I do. However, there was a time where I couldn't. And basically, if you want to draw out a training process to still get as much as you can while you're out at the range, the answer is very simple. It's dry firing between live fire sets, meaning do a couple live fire drills, figure out what it is you didn't like. Were you not reading your sights? Were you not seeing the sights every time you finish the trigger pull? Were your reloads not very good? Was your movement kind of choppy? Did you find yourself doing too much of a drop step in order to move every single time you decided a movement? Those are all things that you can actually work on and focus in a dry fire setting. So, a couple live fire sessions. Once you're done, honest self-evaluation of your performance, whether or not that means watching your video or something like that. Figure out what is it that I feel like I want to improve. And then take a few minutes to dry fire whatever it is that you want to improve. If you didn't like the feel of your draw every time, then dry fire your draw process. If you couldn't confirm that you saw your sights after every trigger pull, then focus on the trigger pull aspect with noticing, do your sights move when you pull the trigger, or do they stay still? Where were the sights when you actually pulled the trigger, even in a dry fire setting? Were they a little higher on the target or a little low and left? That's all stuff that you can focus on. And then after a couple dry fire repetitions of it, load the gun back up, execute the drill a few more times with live fire, and then reassess as you go. I could make 100 rounds of ammunition last me an hour and a half at the range by training like that. Don't get me wrong, I understand that live fire is way more fun. It's way more fun just hearing ding than it is just click. But when you put in the work through repetition, and doing it correctly over and over, you're going to build the confidence to know that you can make those shots happen when you're on the clock, which is going to result in better results. So, with that being said, hope you found the video hopeful, enjoyable, entertaining, informational, all that kind of fun stuff. So I appreciate you watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to make sure you know when I got new videos coming out, and I will see you on the range.